thank the Seneca. We also want to thank the Seneca County Board of Supervisors and the New York State Department of Ag and Markets for helping fund this to get this started. So and so and this will help further enhance Seneca County agriculture, which has been going fairly well, but there's always issues. And so we want to improve on all that. So that's what we're doing right now. And also, I'd like to thank, along with Nan, I want to thank Judy and from Extension and Harriet from the county and Erin from Soil and Water that they've been working together with the project engineers to put this together. And I know that group has been doing a lot of work. It's quite a study that got put out. It's 160 some pages. So there's a lot of good information there. So the Ag Enhancement Board is looking forward for ideas or concerns from the public and the people in this room and the ones that are online. And so we're also hoping we can get this plan adopted before long. It's got to be adopted by both the county and the state of New York. So we're looking forward for any comments we might have, and so we can make a good plan better and keep moving. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug. I just want to remind everybody that we are recording this. The intent is to have it posted to the county's website, so folks that weren't able to attend tonight, either in person or virtually, can view it and provide some comments. So now I'd like to turn it over to Nan Stolzenburg. She has been, I'll say, instrumental, in my opinion, in guiding the project as a consultant to get it to this point. She and her team have put together, as Doug indicated, a very thorough and complete document, but it's time for public comment. Nan's going to kick us off tonight with an overview of the project, some guidelines as to how we got here, and then we'll open the floor up both virtually and for those who are here with us in Waterloo for comment. So Nan, you should be able to share your screen.
Okay, I will do that. Okay, I assume it's up.
It is. It looks
Okay.
good, and you're ready to go.
All right, very good. Well, thank you. And thanks for all of you who are online and in person. I'm going to go through, hopefully it's not too long, highlight so that you all have an understanding of how the plan came to be and what we're proposing in here, and to see if we can, if you have any questions or comments. So just a little bit of background about what the Ag and Farmland Enhancement Plan is. So it's basically, I'm sorry, what?
Oh, you could.
Okay, so the plan is a written guide. It's kind of an inspirational document in the sense that it looks out a decade or more to try and figure out what kind of agricultural characteristics and economy we hope to have in the future. It's packed with all sorts of information that talks about current conditions and trends. There's, I don't know, 15 maps or so in there that maps pretty much all of the soil and agricultural resources and development pressures, infrastructure, and things like that that may influence agriculture. And the aspirational part is that it includes a vision and a set of goals for the county to try and attain over time And the real meat of it is the strategies of what can the county and its partners and farmers and landowners in the county work, and what can they do to ensure that agriculture remains a really vital component of your community. Who uses these plans? We hope that the county will use it and that it will influence programs and decision-making over, like I said, the next 10 or 15 years. We hope farmers can use it. It's got a lot of information in it. We've seen in other places, these are very important plans for farmers who want to work with New York State on their protecting their land through an easement. They have been very useful in grant writing because it provides all sorts of information and background. And we hope ag-related agencies like Cooperative Extension and Soil and Water can use it for their programming and their long-range work as well. How will it be used? It's really a roadmap. It's certainly not a regulation, but it outlines what's important, what are the issues and challenges and barriers to agriculture in the county, and offers some information on how the ideas that are presented in the plan can be implemented. So a little bit about the plan, as Doug mentioned, it was funded in large part by New York State Department of Ag and Markets in the county. The main pieces of it is that it evaluates current issues affecting and trends affecting agriculture. It identifies opportunities and needs through that we gain through public input. And I think that's a really important part, is that this was, while it was developed by the Ag Enhancement Board, we had significant input from farmers, farmland owners, ag businesses, and the various agencies that are somehow related to agriculture. So it certainly wasn't done in any kind of vacuum, and that's based on the folks in the county who are directly involved with agriculture. So if you look at the plan, you'll see that it's split up into a couple different sections that split out current data. There's my coworker Ellen Pemrick did agricultural economic development study, so that we can characterize the role that agriculture plays in the overall economy of Seneca County. We have, as per our requirement from our state grant, we have identified priority farmlands. As I said before, we've identified strengths and weaknesses and opportunities relating to agriculture, the vision and the goals and the strategies and the maps. So all of those pieces together are what you'll see in the plan. The maps, as I said, there's a variety of maps, and we hope that at the very least, all of these maps will be used by agencies in the county and farmers to understand how agriculture fits in and all of the resources that agriculture relies on. Like I said, we tried mapping as many of those resources as possible, and those will be there outside of the plan just as maps to help with all sorts of information and decision making. This happens to be a map of the priority farmland. As part of the state grant, we were their expectation is that we identify priority farmlands that we hope we can maintain long term. So the plan identifies where those are, and how we made those decisions and how we defined priority farmland is discussed in the plan. So we have, when we went through our work, we did our survey and our focus groups and did all of our data collection and our mapping and organized the plan into 6 basic topics. And these are the topics that all of the recommendations are organized into one of these topics, ranging from the need for agricultural processing and distribution, to ways that we can work to promote farmland protection and environmental sustainability. So I'm going to go through these quickly. I think there were 44 recommendations in the plan, of which 12 of them were identified by the Ag Enhancement Board as what they feel are priority projects and priority ideas to work on kind of out of the starting gate. And so wherever on these slides you see this little red check mark here, indicates that that was identified as one of those 12 priority projects. So we recognize that under agricultural processing and distribution that there is need for more processing facilities, things like commercial kitchens, meat processing, small scale food processing would benefit farmers of all sizes in the county. And that there's opportunities for more online marketing and distribution through local produce through schools. In marketing, promotion is always something that in all of the counties that we've been working with, it seems that marketing and promotion of our farms, of our agricultural products, of the economy, and the role that agriculture plays in the economy is really important. And it's really kind of unsung. And a lot of people in a lot of places don't realize the impact that agriculture has on more than just our landscape, which is what they see every day, but they don't realize the breadth that agriculture influences all aspects of our economy and our food system, of course. And so the plan really looks at the need to get the word out about agriculture and its role in the county, the need to build more connections between local farms, restaurants, and wineries so that there's better connection and better awareness and cooperation and sale of products, the need to get the word out about agriculture through various events, in on-farm and direct sale kinds of things. The county has had a map showing direct sale locations on farms for a while, but it needs to be, these days, it needs to be online and connected to GPS mapping so that it's not just a piece of paper. And developing agritourism, even though there's a lot of agritourism already in Seneca County, to have a plan that really promotes and markets that even more than we have just beyond the wineries is a really important aspect that the plan discusses and brings out. Farmers are very concerned about local regulations that impede their agricultural operations or that promote non-farm growth in areas that are traditionally agriculture that ultimately makes it harder for them to do business. So the plan talks about how to become farm friendly, how to help communities in the county grow, but do it in a smart way. So really looking at addressing development pressure through careful planning of where our water and sewer and road infrastructure is. And also to work with local communities, towns and villages on their land use regulations, their zoning and land use review projects is really important. We really need to boost the importance of agriculture as communities are evaluating new housing developments and new other kinds of developments. So those two are really important topics and components that the plan talks about. Watershed planning and water quality was recognized as important by everybody. There's already been a lot of work done in the county through the various watershed organizations. There's a lot of recommendations and a lot of good ideas that have already been developed through various watershed and water quality efforts. And we need to coordinate those and work together with the farm community to make some of those happen. Also in the topic of local regulations and smart growth, we want to continue to provide information to farmers through organizations like Cooperative Extension to help them understand what state and federal regulations they may have to meet. But maybe a little more immediate is, as we've all seen, a huge increase in the number of solar farms that are being placed across the state. And the plan encourages Seneca County to have a countywide policy on large scale commercial solar development and how they interact with agricultural land. So that is discussed in the plan as well. In the area of education, technical assistance and support, we have our organizations like Cooperative Extension, Soil and Water, and in the other agencies that are in place to help farmers, help educate farmers, help them understand new techniques and efficient ways of producing the food that they're, the products that they're growing. So we certainly want to continue those education and assistance programs, but we also need to fashion our outreach so that we can attract new and young farmers, and expanding agricultural education in the local school districts was seen by the farm community as a really important effort, because in New York State, our farm population as a whole is aging. And I think it's somewhere around 58 or maybe even 60 years old by now is the average age of the farmer. And the next generation of farmers needs to be educated and supported and promoted to be there in the wings to take over as a farmer's age. So certainly those kinds of programs are discussed in the plan. We want to be able to help farmers understand the issues related to farm labor and how they can improve that. Better awareness of the New York State Ag District and Ag Assessment Program, in helping the existing programs that we have, like the Ag Economic Development through Cornell, give them all the tools they need to really go concentrate and go great guns on promoting agricultural economic programs. Some of those specific kinds of educational programs that were identified by our public input was the need to develop more programming on butchering, to enhance opportunities for meat processing, to help farms diversify and do business planning, and there's a lot of new farmers who are interested in small farms and they're very entrepreneurial. They may not be our 400 or 500 acre commodity farms, but they're very interested in starting food related businesses. So the plan talks about ways to attract and promote and support those kinds of folks who are our next generation of artisanal agricultural entrepreneurs. So this chapter on educational technical assistance and support, as you can see, has a lot of different recommendations relating there. Some of them go also to, like I said, supporting those niche agricultural opportunities, all the way to promoting opportunities for veterans. There's a couple farm veteran groups in New York State that are looking for ways to get veterans involved in agriculture, and that's a very active area that the state is very interested in promoting veteran involvement in agriculture. As I said before, public awareness about agriculture is really important. Farmers have a lot of challenges, as you know, when they are up against non-farm neighbors, and where a lot of non-farm activities move into the area. So we as a county, as a state, and probably as a country, really need to enhance the public perception and understanding of agriculture, how farmers do their work, how they travel on the roads, why they do the things they do. It's just really, it's really an important aspect of promoting farming. And it even has kind of tentacles in that when people understand agriculture and how it works, it has a more positive aspect, and hopefully we'll have more people who will recognize that there are really great careers in the agricultural arena that young people or anybody can get involved in. So that's programs that we can put in place in the county to get at that are very important. In the farmland protection and environmental sustainability, climate change was recognized through our focus groups and our surveys as something that we need to work on. And that's partly technical, where farmers need to learn various techniques to address that. So that was identified by the Ag Enhancement Board as a prime topic for helping address sooner rather than later. But other things like continuing to support cooperative extension, soil and water conservation. We want soil and water to be able to increase their best management practices in their ag environmental management programming, enhancing forest management, and helping farmers who want to protect their farmland through easements. The plan is designed to help provide them with the information and the mapping that they need to support their applications to New York State for farmland protection. So that was like a really quick tour of a lot of information that's in the plan and a lot of different ideas. But the important thing about any of these kinds of plans is after it's adopted, we don't want people to forget about it. We don't want it to be a sit on the shelf kind of document. We want it to be active and used and to help all avenues from farmers all the way up to the county in promoting programs that will maintain agriculture. So the plan has a whole section on how the plan should be implemented and who should be involved. And so we hope that when the plan is adopted, the Board of Supervisors will formalize the leadership role that the Ag Enhancement Board can play in taking the leadership in implementing the plan. I think a really important aspect is that there's a lot of people doing agricultural programming and activities, and they need to be coordinated and organized so that we don't duplicate work and that we're all working together kind of down the same path to promote the same kinds of things. So there's information in the plan on how we can best organize and coordinate our implementation efforts. The plan suggests that the Ag Enhancement Board establish a work plan. Every year they say we're going to accomplish A and B. And here are the agencies, organizations, and individuals who can help us accomplish A and B, identify funding that we might need, and be prepared to write grants and seek funding to make those programs happen. We feel that it's really important to have a dedicated web page associated with the county website to link the various partners and entities working in agriculture. But so that someone can really see the big presence and the important presence that agriculture plays in the county. And that is done through web pages these days. So we really need to work on making sure we have good web presence for all of the great things going on related to agriculture in the county. As I mentioned before, there's 12 strategies that were identified as the most important to get started on. And the plan talks about those. As I said, there needs to be working with the various agencies. I mentioned some of them, but also other partners like the Seneca County Chamber of Commerce, the IDA, the County Farm Bureau, and other agencies like the Finger Lakes Land Trust. All of these groups have roles in different aspects of agriculture and farmland protection that they're working in, and they all can participate in taking and helping various aspects of implementing the plan. Some of the projects that are recommended are relatively easy and can kind of be done in-house through the county. Others may need funding. And one of the things that the state hopes for by having these plans is that the plan will provide the information that the county needs in order to write the grants and ask for the money. So that's why we spend a lot of time on the data collection and the public input and the mapping and the economic analysis, so that the county is ready to ask for funding for projects that it needs to work on. So that's all, these are all sorts of things that are discussed in the implementation section. And finally, where do we go from here? So this month, as Judy said, we're doing public input tonight, and then on the 18th at the end of the month, whatever public input we get, we may go back and need to amend the draft plan or address something that the public feels need to be addressed. That's why everyone's comments are really important. When that is done, the final draft will go to the Ag Enhancement Board, and they have to formally adopt the plan. And when they have adopted the plan, then the next step is it goes on to the Seneca County Board of Supervisors. They will review it and hopefully adopt it as well. And I believe that they will be looking at it hopefully starting in February. And then once the County Board of Supervisors adopts the plan, then it goes to the New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets, who reviews it and makes sure it meets all of the criteria that we set out to, that was in our grant and our contract with Ag and Markets, and they have the final approval of it. So that's the steps that will be taking place over the next couple of months. And that was a very quick overview of what's in the plan, and I will turn it back over to Judy and Harriet and Erin, if we'll try and answer any questions or take any comments that you have about the plan. So thank you.
Thank you, Nan. I would just jump in and sort of as an announcement for folks that aren't aware, let you know that the draft plan is on the county website at this point. And we will be placing the recording of this meeting there. Some of us can get frustrated at times in dealing with the structure of the county website. And so what you have to remember is to go into your government, administration, then planning, and then plans in order to get to the page where the plan is housed and where the recording will be located. You mentioned that, yes, the Ag Enhancement Board will be needing to take action on that. That is scheduled at this point for February 2nd. The first Wednesday of the month. And so if folks have comments, as long as they get them to Judy at Cooperative Extension or myself at County Planning, and I'll pull Erin in on this too, at Soil and Water, we'll get them consolidated so that we have all of the comments organized before that meeting. And at this point, it is planned that the Board of Supervisors will hold their public hearing on February 9th, and very likely then be able to move to adoption that night if they feel that everything is in order.